I'm Judi Vitale with readthestars.com. There's a huge weekend coming up here, May 18th, 19th, 20th. We've got all kinds of stuff happening, and we've talked a little bit about it so far. The sun's going to go into Gemini, and of course, we just had Venus go retrograde. But now we're going to have an eclipse on Sunday. I spoke a little bit about it in the weekly horoscopes, and I'm trying not to make a huge deal out of it, but for those of you who are interested in terms of where the eclipse visibility is and what sorts of planets are interacting with those spots on the map, I will talk a little bit about it here. First, let me begin by saying I'm not trying to predict doom and gloom. However, it is very easy to see things that can happen in the world based on the study of eclipses. This one is at 0 degrees of Gemini, and the minute most astrologers hear 0 degrees, they freak out. 0 degrees of Cardinal, like, that's a big deal. To me, 0 degrees of Gemini is not what makes this eclipse unsettling. I think what makes it unsettling to me, now remember that eclipses are moments when the sun, the moon, and the earth are lined up. This time it's an eclipse of the sun, so from the earth we won't be able to see the sun. The thing I think that really bugs me about this one is the way that the eclipse line goes right from Asia through Japan over to North America. And there are several things that have been happening in that area of the world. We've had earthquakes, we've had tsunamis, and of course we have Fukushima. So there are some things there that are a little bit troubling. I will say that the planet I usually will look for to see like where there might be some action, which is Uranus, is on the midheaven. It kind of comes right down and goes through Indonesia. It also crosses over Pluto on the ascendant-descendant line. So you're going to basically have very soon the Uranus-Pluto square. Remember that. And that is going to be taking place around June the 24th. Jupiter's going to come into Gemini. It's going to hit this eclipse point on June the 11th. When that happens, I expect these events to be triggered. Everybody goes, Jupiter is so good, it's good luck. It can also be expansion. So if it is something on the order of seismic activity, something could happen to activate it at that point. Jupiter brings us more of everything. It doesn't necessarily always bring good things, and that's important to remember. And gosh, I really don't like telling you that there are things to think about in the world, but there are. The other thing that I would touch on is this is not the best time for Facebook to go public. I don't believe that I would ever ask people to buy something from me when Venus is retrograde to begin with. But with this eclipse so near to it, I think it's also very, troubling. I don't think it's going to turn out the way that most people seem to think that it will. But in conclusion, because I don't want to go on too much more about this, if you're concerned about this eclipse, you can write to me. You can also, if you want to hear about how it's going to affect it in your life, if you have any questions about that, you can send for a private video reading. It's a very reasonable $19.95 fee, and I basically address your questions based on your time of birth. So that's it for this one. If you have any questions, comments, or other things that you would like to sling at me for not bringing you good news this time, it's Judi, Judi, at readthestars.com.